Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Oh, man. Before I get this lesson or this report started, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekagodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from. And a Shalom to the hope elect brothers taking this truth to the four corners of the earth. Bidding the elect spirits to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai, that's your brother Adab. Bro, the weakness of Esau. There's so many precepts of all this information. The so-called white man is such a fucking hypocrite. They are so fucking weak. They're just nasty, vile, and everything about them is just being exposed, man. The wicked, the border of wickedness, Malachi 1, verses 3 and 4, emphasis on 4, they shall call them the border of wickedness. So there's three classifications of races on the planet Earth. You have the sons of God, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites. And those are your so-called blacks, your Native Americans, and your Latinos. Now, we were scattered to the four corners of the earth, and so a lot of our offspring does also look like the heathen nations. So they're not all of us now are not so-called melanated people, but the original seed, the fathers of the original 12 sons of Israel are melanated men, okay? And you can look like a so-called white person, Chinese person, Arabic person, whatever you want, a Hamite or African person. Over time, if one of those men were scattered to the four corners of the earth and they slept with those women from those nations, because the seed of the nation is determined. The outcome of the nation, the identity of a nation is determined by the seed of the man. Whoever the man is, those children, that's what nationality they're going to be. The mom does not determine the outcome of the nation. That's how there is no end of the people. Because if a man could lay down with a woman, and then that woman can turn his seed into half her, half him. There's now that for so let's use an example. An Egyptian man is a Hamite man, right? And he lays down with a Moabite woman that's Chinese today. So you're telling me so now a Hamite man lays down with a Moabite woman, and they create a half Moabite, half Hamite man. So now now that child is no longer Moabite, and now that child is no longer Hamite. They just destroyed, based on that stupid fucking dumbass understanding, you just eliminated two nations by creating a completely new genome. That's not how this works. The Most High is a God of order. And he created all female eggs to submit to all male sperm. That's how this works. So no matter who the man is, the minute he lays down with, no matter who the woman is, they're going to produce a child, and that son and that daughter will be the nation of that man. Now, the woman will contribute to the outward appearance of the child, and that's the beauty of it. There's nothing wrong with that. You get to have children that look physically different. That's the awesome thing about it. There's nothing wrong with that part. There's nothing wrong with having children that physically look different, but seed line, lineage-wise, they're of the nation of their father. That's how people don't understand. They don't understand to look at it like that, man. Anyways, that's not what this lesson is about. These motherfuckers, man. Look at this shit. Hold up.
So this man wants us to fight his war for him. And then he fucking fled the country. He fled the fucking country, and guess where he ended up? In Berlin. Out of all the places. You cannot make this shit up.
He went to Teman, and Teman is the tribe of, Germany is the tribe of Teman. And what Netanyahu is, he is the tribe of Amalek. They're the Amalekites, the so-called small hats, the least of the flock. Those are the Amalekites, and Amalek is the grandson of Esau, right? Teman is a son or a tribe in Edom or Esau, and Amalek has been elevated to the head tribe of Edom. This is why they are on top. And just like the Most High said, one nation shall serve another, and one will be stronger than the other. We're seeing how weak the so-called white man actually is. Without their manipulations, without their enchantments, without their magic, and without their fucking weapons, they're really a weak race, man. They're extreme, and this is why they had to be equipped or enhanced with all of this technology. Think about it, man. What they have is powerful, and the way that they wield it is also powerful because you had to know how to manipulate the media, the press, the TV, and the radio. And they have been doing a really great job at lying this whole time. But they're a fucking weak race of people. Look at this shit.
Just to recap, the U.S., our children are going to be putting their boots on, going to war, to back a fight we didn't want to be a part of. And the man with the plan, because our man only has concepts of a plan, couldn't even stay at home anymore because he's scared and fled. Y'all, especially MAGA, like, how are you okay with this?
And there's so many aspects of hypocrisy and exposure. And when I say exposure, I mean they're being exposed. They're just being exposed on all levels. They're divided. Like Isaiah 19 said, what happened? Egyptian against Egyptian. The skirts being lifted. All the nations can see them for what they are. And then even so-called white people on the left-hand side are looking at white people on the so-called white people on the right-hand side and saying, how come you're not fucking saying anything? This is not even about left and right anymore. You guys are completely fucking hypocritical. And the left side is not righteous either. They are being split down the middle, and then they're being split down the middle again, and then they're being split down the middle again. They're not just divided in twos. They're divided in sevens, you guys. It's ridiculous.
Trump dodged every opportunity that he had to go to war. Do you think his son is going to put the boots on and go? Honest question. Thank you.
Look at this. Look at this one. Let me see. Hold
up. So this man.
So Netanyahu has officially fled to Germany. I mean, Germany, of all places. The jokes write themselves. The official Israeli state aircraft landed in Berlin, Germany at 8:30 p.m. today after circling Israel for hours, looking for a safe place to land. This flight is often used for the continuity of government during crises, by the way. Consider this jet the Israeli Air Force One. Netanyahu was literally fleeing Israel amidst retaliatory
attacks. This is another reason why they are going to fucking turn off the internet. Why? Because the same technology, the same power, the ability to change public perception. This is all about governing the mind. This is all about directing the thoughts of the mind. This is what the so-called white man, this is what Esau, this is what Amalek, this is what they have had over the entire planet. They've had the full control of the media. They've been able to tell their version of stories with photoshopped pictures and pictures that were taken out of context. They've been able to do this for fucking decades upon decades. This is why Asian women want to fucking marry white men. This is why the so-called nigger woman, you know what I mean, is nice to the so-called white man but hates her. Why? Because they've been using the media to make the so-called black man, the Hebrew Israelites, and the so-called brown man look like the criminals of the fucking earth, while they go around doing everything and then painting themselves as the hero in every fucking Hollywood movie. Now, because of the internet, because of the unicorn, who is this girl? We don't know, but look what she's doing. Look what this girl, this other girl was doing. This is completely destroying. It's like the same weapon is being aimed back at Esau, and it's just destroying all the falseness. Every fucking deceptive lie they've told about themselves, as far as making themselves out to be this amazing person, God's chosen people, the most intelligent race on planet Earth, the most physically attractive, all that bullshit, bro. It's just fucking kind. And that's Isaiah 19. I will destroy the idols of Egypt. Well, what's the biggest idol of America? What's the biggest idol of the world? It's the image of the so-called white race. The Epstein Files is proving what these fucking people are.
Who has officially fled to Germany. I mean, Germany, of all places.
And how come he doesn't trust in the Most High God? How come he's not He's supposed to be the chosen race. How come they're not trusting in their God?
Folks write themselves. The official Israeli state aircraft landed in Berlin, Germany at 8:30 p.m. today after circling Israel for hours looking for a safe place to land. This flight is often used for the continuity of government during crises, by the way. Consider this jet the Israeli Air Force One. Netanyahu was literally fleeing Israel amidst retaliatory attacks from Iran. He could not handle it. The plane was stuck circling over Israeli coastal airspace for several hours before finally leaving Israeli airspace to try to seek refuge in Europe. The jet was seen circling over Greece, and it is alleged that they were refused entry in Cyprus. While the West is sending their children to die in a war that they have absolutely no involvement in, the leader of Israel has fled the country, and to Germany, no less. How about that?
So what do you think this is going to do? This is going to further put the wedge in. It's further going to, they shall not regard their princes, nor regard their rulers. So look, you got to understand, these people are bastards. And this is not us being rude. This is in the scriptures, you guys. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. We're going to pull that all up. Look, you got to see this. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, okay? So Zechariah, 9:6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. This is a precept. This is a line. You have to follow along with this. What is this going into? This is going into into what Yahushua said when he said the Gentiles shall trample the holy. Let's get that. So now I got to pull it. The Gentiles, and this is talking about the actual heathen. The Gentiles shall trample underfoot. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Boom. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down with the Gentiles. Now, what does this mean? Let's go back one. But woe unto them that are with child. So he's talking to us. He's talking to the Hebrew Israelites, mainly the southern kingdom. And it's not that he's not speaking to the northern kingdom, which are your Latinos and Native Americans. The northern kingdom is already gone, you guys. After King Solomon transgressed, our punishment was to have the house divided in two, which was the warning given to King Solomon, I believe in First or Second Chronicles. It's also in First or Second Kings. Yahweh, his father, told him, if you F up, I'm gonna stripe you with the rod of men, and I'm also gonna divide the city. That was a punishment, and the temple's been destroyed. Our house has been divided ever since. And I'm paraphrasing, okay? So by the time Yahushua is back in his lot, because he was King Solomon, and you guys don't understand reincarnation, oh well, if you're fucking freaking out, you don't know the Bible. You guys have had the Bible this whole time, and you don't even know that the so-called white man is the fucking Edomites, man. You don't know that America is Mystery Babylon, and you don't know that the Hebrew Israelites are actually so-called black people in America, that the Latinos are you don't know, man. Second Ezra records the migrations. The navy that King Solomon had proves that we were coming over here. Anyways, it can get really, I'm trying to be quick. So this is Yahushua speaking to the southern kingdom during his ministry. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck. In those days, he's talking to the actual Jews. For there shall be great distress in land, and wrath upon the people. Why? Because we're going to go into our final captivity. We're going to get 70 AD is going to take place. We're going to finally completely lose our heritage. And what is it? Is it in Micah? You shall go, hold on, now I got to get that. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. You gotta hold this. You guys take this portion, put it somewhere right now, because you gotta understand this. This is a powerful line in prophecy, but now you gotta divide it. You have to rightfully divide this word of truth. Now there's a colon. And Jerusalem, as a result of the real children of God, as a result of the real Hebrew Israelites being led away captive, Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles is fulfilled. What does this mean? Motherfucking Renaissance Western Christianity teaches this to be meaning that white Jesus is saving the Gentiles right now. That's how they fucking teach this line. No, the time of the Gentiles is explained when you go into Daniel and you see the four beast rulerships that are explained, and the last beast rulership would be different than all previous rulerships. Difference in how they rule their nation by voting, by having two sides, the plebeians, and the Salak, you guys, I'm forgetting the other one, but that's where we get our Democrats and Republicans. Prior to the Romans, prior to the so-called white man ruling, everything was done by monarchies or by kings. And then the person that would take over would be the son of that king. The heir to the throne would be the king. You weren't voting shit in. And voting doesn't work anyways. It's just a fucking illusion. It's an enchantment. Okay, so you have to understand that. Let's go back to this. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And okay, so stop right there. What are one of the many precepts probably? Is it Micah 4? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can just off the top. Rather than typing it in, because I got to practice. Because I'm getting better too. You guys, I got to understand what I'm doing. 4. Let me see. But in the last days it shall come to pass. Yeah, baby. That's it. So look at this. This is a very detailed chapter. Whew. That's the water Yahweh by Shemeshah. So look at this. But I'm making my point about the bastard that dwells in Ashdod. I'm trying to prove pedigree in who the true Hebrew Israelites are, and showing you by the fruits of all this evidence that we're seeing, the people who claim to be us, they're bastards. And they're proving that they're bastards by their way that they behave. You will know a tree by its fruits. Men are likened unto trees in the scriptures, and a tree always produces the same fruit every season. A lemon tree will never grow watermelons. A pecan tree will never grow grapefruits. A grapefruit tree will come from a grapefruit will come from a grapefruit tree, and pecans will come from a pecan tree, and they will always grow that same fruit the entire time they are alive, every season. And races of men are likened unto trees, which means what? This bullshit that we're all the same and equal, that's bullshit. We're compatible. And even that is on certain levels. Like my hand can fit perfectly into a Moabite man's hand if I was going to shake his hand. My hand can fit into a fucking Hamite's hand if I was going to shake his hand. I'm talking about stuff like that. We are completely different. We all have different vibrations. We are not equal, and it's all done by design. One has to rule, others have to serve, you guys. Now let me get to the prophecy. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains. And so those other mountains, those are those other nations. See, we're not all the same. So when this is all done and said, Yahweh Shai is going to be ruling with the 144,000 King David and the 12, right? And the 1/3 on top of every other race of people on the earth. So we're not the same, and it shall be exalted above the hills and shall flow, and people shall flow into it. And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go. So I want to go down and the judge among many people. Hold up. Let me find it where it says we shall go. Okay. I think now also many nations are gathered, but they shall know. Okay, hold up. I think that's it. Yes, right here, verse 10. Salakia. And this also lines up with Revelations 12. So this is what Yahweh Shai was saying in I'm gonna go back, I believe it was in Luke. But in pain and labor, bring forth, O daughter Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city. What's the city? That's Jerusalem. That's the city of David. That's Israel, the geographical location, right? And thou shalt dwell in the field. What's the field? North and West Africa. And thou shalt even go into Babylon. That's the transatlantic slave trade. That's us going into America and to the four corners of the earth. So all this backs up the fact that our offspring would look a little different. Yes, we're melanated men, we're black, we're so-called black and brown men, but we do have offspring that look like the nations because this happened. And because this happened, there's a race of people in our land that's acting like us. And they are the bastard. That's why that precept says that. And that shall go into Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. We're going to be delivered from America. We're not going to be catching airplanes that are owned by all the Edomite families, because that's who owns the airplanes, and doing aliyah and a fake returning to the land of Israel. Yahweh himself, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh himself is going to take us, and it's going to involve chariots that the so-called white man calls UFOs. Nobody talks like this. This is what we are saying. The true Hebrew Israelites will be beamed up into the chariots at the four corners of the earth. They will be beamed up into what is called UFOs. Everybody will see it according to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. And they will grumble and freak the fuck out. And Yahweh Shai will change our bodies. And then we will go back into Israel. But before that, or during that, we're also going to dig up everybody from their underground bunkers. That's what Scripture says. That's not what Western Christianity says. And that's not what the people who are claiming to be us are saying today. Okay? From there you will be delivered. Delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. That's how it's going to go down. Let's go back to, and they shall fall by, so go back to look. So look at the top. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. That line right there lines up with what's being said right here. Okay? For now, go down halfway. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even into Babylon. That's right here. And what happens when this happens? And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles is fulfilled. And then you go to and this is also this. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. This lines up with Luke. This lines up with Malachi 4. Now, where's Ashdod? Let's get it. Where is Ashdod? Kapayow, yow, you see it. You fucking see it. You fucking see it. Can I cuss some more just to piss all of you off that don't want to understand the truth? Fuck yeah. You fucking see it. You fucking see it. Ashdod. Ashdod. Right there by Jerusalem. So who's the bastard? Let's get the definition for bastard. What is a bastard? Bastard. What is a bastard? Bastard. Bastard. Illegitimate child. We're going to get the definition of illegitimate. Acknowledged child of a nobleman by a woman other than what? His wife? Oh, so that they're saying, out of wedlock. Pax saddle son. Bastard. Child begotten on a bench. Brat. Small child. William the Bastard. The most plausible suggestion is that the ulterior Edom is either the unattested variant. Thing not pure or genuine. Damn, bro, there it is. Counterfeit. Bastard. You don't have a dad. You're not begotten. You haven't been adopted. You have no pedigree. Your lineage doesn't come back to this man. You're not my son, okay? Let's go to illegitimate. 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 How the fuck you spell it? God damn it. Illegitimate. Illegitimate. Born out of wedlock. Not legitimate. Okay? Don't let the bastards grind you down. So you see it, okay? So I'm proving my point. And then also, this goes into, let's pull that one, and then we're gonna knock the head off the snake here. Hold on. One more. It's Ezekiel 36, I believe, with the joy of all their heart. And then they're named by their race is named with the joy of their heart. Look, because I am jealous with I am Let me get it. Oh, no, it's in Ezekiel. With the joy of their heart. Let me see. No, Ezekiel. Hold on. Ezekiel. Give it to me. There it is. Okay, look. Ezekiel 36, 35. Remember Malachi or Micah 4. Remember Luke, and remember Zechariah. Right? When we were removed from the land, another group of people stepped in, like a fox, and they attempted to steal our identity. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. Idumea is the Greek word for Edom, the so-called fucking white men, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart. That's the trampling underfoot, the Gentiles, with despiteful minds to cast it for a prey. Right? Prophecy, therefore, concerning the land of Israel, and saying to the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Let me see. If you keep going, it gets worse and worse. Look, the heathen, prophecy. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches. He's speaking to the real Israelites, and yield your fruit to my people Israel, for they are at hand to come. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown. And that's what he's doing for us now. And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be builded. And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit, and I will settle you after your old estate, and will do better unto you than at your beginning. And that's what we are in process now, Yahweh Ratazah, Yahweh willing. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh. While Yahweh Shai, yea, I will cause men to walk upon you. Let me skip down. Thus saith the Lord God, because they say unto you, the lamb devours men. Okay, therefore thou shalt devour men. Neither will I cause men to be. Hold on. Moreover, word the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, look, this is what we did. The Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. This is why he divorced us. Wherefore I poured, and you don't hear the small hats talk like this. They never mention anything they did wrong. They've never before the whole world confessed that they have transgressed against the Most High. They just force the lie on everybody, saying, we're the chosen, we're the chosen. But the true chosen would admit that they did wrong to their husband. They would confess before did we not cheat on our husband with the gods of the nations? How then could we get in front of the nations after he restores us and not tell them? We don't have to bow down to them. Listen to what I'm saying, you guys. To honor our King, to honor our Savior, to honor Yahweh, bro, Taza Bawathka, the Yahweh of hosts, before the angels, I would be willing, any Israelite in his right mind would be willing to tell the heathens, look, I'm not here to serve you, but I committed adultery against my husband by following your philosophies. And as a result, we went into slavery. He allowed you guys to be over us temporarily, and now he is repositioning us back into power. Lamentations 4 and 21 and 20 and 21. And now we are getting back. We are being placed back above you. But the reason why you guys were even allowed to be over us for a little bit, you're weaker than us. You don't have wisdom like we have wisdom. You don't understand the prophecies like we do. You don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding like we do. How are you ruling over us? It's a judgment. But why? We committed adultery against our husband, and we confess it to him, but we're letting you know that we did it too. This is why this is all happening. You never hear the small hats say anything like this, you guys. They never admit, the so-called white man as a whole never tells the world he's ever done anything fucking wrong. They don't admit that they were wrong in slavery. They don't admit that they were wrong in war. They don't admit that their entire fucking rulership, kingdom, and power, it's all based on fucking lies. And one of those lies is their fucking righteousness. They're just never wrong. Look at all the war that they're doing right now. What's it all based on? It's based on them accusing someone. They are the accuser of the brethren because of what they say about us, but they accuse nature and they accuse the heathen nations too. That's their form of righteousness. I have to say you have broken a law. And then when you go into what? You go into, this is good by the Spirit. When you go into Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verses 10 on down, what do? Their strength is the law. Let the law be our strength. Let the strength of the law be our justice. They have to write laws to then impose onto you, and that's their fucking form. That's their veneer of righteousness. Outside of that, they are the fucking wicked. They don't have any righteousness, you guys. They have to manufacture righteousness. And how they manufacture righteousness is by oppressing you with their laws, which then gives them the appearance of being good. And all that's coming crashing down. And I scattered them amongst it. And when they entered into the heathen, whether they went, they profaned my. So we profaned the holy name when they said to them, these are the people of Yahweh and are gone forth out of the land. But I have pity for my holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whether they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord power, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake. Listen, look at this. Look how skillfully this is written, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whether you went. Now look at this. And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned. So we were the ones that profaned his name, and he's going to sanctify his name. How's he going to do it, you guys? Which ye have profaned in the midst of the heathen, and the heathen shall know, that I am Yahweh. How? Saith the Lord power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. So as Yahweh corrects us in doctrine and truth, and we relearn his name, Yahweh, and we relearn Yahweh Shai's name, Yahweh Shai, and we get the 100% truth down, and we learn the words of the new song, Revelations chapter 14, and we believe it and we declare it as we learn the right path, as we get restored, as the hearts of the children are turned back to the hearts of the Father, as he sets us in order. We have a correct understanding of who he is, and we have a correct understanding of his truth and his doctrine. My sheep hear my voice and believe. The voice going into what is he saying with his voice? It's a specific doctrine. It's not Renaissance Western Christianity. It's not Western philosophy. It's not anything anybody else is saying on the earth. It's only what the apostles, the elders and the apostles, the great millstones are saying, and all those who follow that doctrine. That's the voice, right? So he's gonna be sanctified to the world as he sanctifies himself within us. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. I don't want to keep reading. That's enough. Let's go back to those videos. Look at these fuckers, bro. And
thank you so much for the drinks. My boyfriend is here.
Hold on.
Actually fled to Germany.
There's another one. Hold on. Right here. Right here. Right here. Look at this. So these are Israelis. These are the bastards, right? Panicking as they fight to access bomb shelters while Iran bombs them. But why are they acting like this? Because they have no relationship with our Father. They have no history with our precepts. They have no history. They have no DNA. You know, everything is passed down. There's memory that's passed down into DNA. Even though we go up and come back down again in our bodies, in the bodies that are left down here, there's trauma and there's memory that is passed down. These people have absolutely no memory in their DNA of ever receiving the laws, statutes, and commandments. These are the fucking biblical Edomites or Amalekites. They're the border of wickedness. This is their genetic structure manifesting in front of the whole world for what they really are. They are the Gentiles that are trotting Jerusalem underfoot because we, the true Hebrew Israelites, have been carried away into captivity to the four corners of the earth because we profane the name of our husband. They never admit, they never talk about it because there's no memory of it in them because they never performed it.
So Israelis are panicking, trying to get into bomb shelters, but let's not forget what happened the last time Israel went after war or tried to fight Iran. The last time Iran was bombing the shit out of Israel, we saw videos of Africans denied access to shelters. My Nigerian people, my fellow, we are the Jews, Igbo Jews. Where the fuck are y'all right now? I can assure you, none of y'all are in a fucking shelter right now. Igbo Jews, Israel. Y'all getting bombed the fuck out. The Chinese, I remember a Chinese man making a video saying there's no group of people he hates on this planet like Israelis. How Israelis were not allowing anybody into a bomb shelter. Again, I remember vividly, there was a bunch of people standing outside. A lot of them not even black, non-white, but they're just non-white and non-Jew. But anyways, as we can see.
So I want to try to open up a dark saying and be the ending of this. You remember the story where the two harlots, King Solomon had just gotten on the throne? Let me see, King Solomon, Judges. Let me see, Judges, the two harlots. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try to attempt to do this, you guys. Okay. Yep. Okay. So let's look at this. I want to suggest something. I think I can explain it better now. Because I remember when I first woke up, a couple years I was reading this and the Spirit showed me something with us and Amalek or Esau. And I was like, oh my God, am I really seeing that? I'm believing that was shown to me. So let me read the story to you, okay? I'm starting at verse 3. So Solomon loved Yahweh, walking in the statue. Let me see. King Solomon. Okay, hold up. And then came to, okay, I want to make sure. So he's establishing a throne, and he's young. He's very young, you guys. Remember, he asked for wisdom. So look at this. Then came to, and I'll end the story. And I'm going to show you an analogy. I'm going to show you what the Spirit is saying. Then came the two women that were harlots unto the king and stood before him. And the one woman said, "O my Lord, I and this woman." Remember, two harlots, okay? Remember that. That's very key to the story. And the one woman said, "O my Lord, I and this woman dwell in one house. And I was delivered." Remember, they came out of one house. "And I was delivered of the child with her in the house. And it came to pass the third day after that, I was delivered, that this woman was also delivered." So they both had children, and they're both in one house. Just listen to what I'm trying to say. That this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we two in the house. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. Okay? And she arose at night. So I want you to think about Esau and Jacob. I want you to think about the birthright. I want you to you see where this is going. "And he arose at midnight and took my son from beside me. And she arose, Salakia, at midnight and took my son from beside me, while thine handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom." You see it, Jacob and Esau, the birthright. You see how it's moving through time. Now look, her child died. What is that? That's Esau selling his birthright. Later, when she switches the children, what is that? That is us being cast out. Why? Because we were also behaving like harlots. That's what we were doing. We were worshiping other gods. We were becoming like what we were doing, and we committed adultery and whored ourselves out. We got divorced, right? And as a result, this other harlot who has never been a wife, who has never changed, she steals, she takes our child. Well, what's our child? Our child is the heritage. It's the knowledge. It's the wisdom. I was going to say. It's the identity. It's the position of I am God's chosen people on the earth. They have taken the high places, like it says in Ezekiel 36. "And when I arose in the morning," what's this? This is Ezekiel 37. The breath, we were waking up out of our sleep. "And when I arose in the morning to give my child suck," when I came to operate in damn, bro, this is even better. When I came to operate in my position as a son of God, to operate in the law, statute, commandments, to be in the position of the throne of David, right? to be over the earth, as that position is required. That's what comes with that house. The house of Jacob will rule. That mountain will be placed above all the other mountains. And the name Yahweh and the name Yahushua. Well, what's the name in the earth? They say, the fake people say Hashem. What does Renaissance Western Christianity say? What does Esau say in America? Jesus and Jehovah. That's not their names. So when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. We were completely destroyed. We were separated from our heritage and our land, and we were in captivity, and we have no power, right? We have no ability to impose the truth on the earth, because right now the earth is engrossed in complete deception and darkness. Why? Because this harlot has our son in her possession. But when I had considered it in the morning, so now we're doing all the research, we're looking into history, we're able to prove everything, right? Behold, it was not my son, which I did bear. Okay, and the other woman said, nay. And so now, what's this other woman? This is Amalek. This is the so-called white man. This is the American government. This is Renaissance Western Christianity. This is MAGA. All these motherfuckers who claim to know our Lord and Savior, who claim to know our heritage, who claim to know our nationality better than us, who are saying that they are God's chosen people, right? No, but the living is my son, and the dead is your son, and what are they saying? You're heathens, you're black, you're Mexican, you're Native American, you're savages. We have to civilize you. And this said, no, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Who's the king? The king is King Solomon. We also know in the reincarnation that Solomon is Yahushai, and this is also a type and shadow of what? Yahweh, but Hashem Yahushai on high, looking down at this whole situation, watching his own story take place on the earth, because he wrote it this way. Then said the king, look at this, the one saith, this is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead, and the other is says nay, but the son is the dead, and my son is the living. And look what Yahushua is going to do. And the king said, bring me the sword. And they brought the sword before the king, and the king said, divide the living child in two, and give half to the one and half to the other. What is this? This is Jacob's trouble. This is the testing. Test your friends. Prove a friend to know. Don't just exalt them. Make sure that they're genuine. What is King Solomon doing? He's proving something. The true, the authentic, the pure gold. I will try the 1/3 as pure gold to the fire, and Jacob shall be saved out of the testing. I will keep you from the hour of temptation that's going to try the whole earth. And I'm going to know who loves me. I'm going to know who's willing. Look what happens. Then spake the woman, whose the living child was, unto the king. She speaks to the king, and her heart yearns for the child. The other harlot doesn't even speak to the king and doesn't care two shits about the child, you guys. Then spake the king, the woman, whose the living child was, unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, my Lord, give her the living child. For the sake of the life of the son, I'm willing to go without, man. In no wise slay it. But the other said, let it be neither mine nor thine, but divided. And you see the difference in the handling of the ministry. You see the difference in the respect and the love that the men of GMS have for the ministry of the 100% truth and the name of Yahweh and the name of Yahushua compared to the 2/3 Israelites and to these fake bastards that are in our land right now. Then Yahushua answered and said, give her the living child. Enter ye, well done, thou faithful servant. Enter ye into, you want to hear the penny? I'm jagged right now, but I know you guys are getting it. Then the king answered and said, well done, my servant. Give her the living child. We get Yahushua, you guys, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. What is Jerusalem called? the mother of us all. There's so much in this, you guys. And all Yasharallah heard of the judgments which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of power was in him to do judgment. And it's talking about Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the 144,000, the 12, King David, and the innumerable multitude, man. These people,
Fast.
these people are the harlot that don't give anything. They don't care about the heritage. They don't care about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that was good. They don't care about the name. They don't even speak his name. They don't even talk to him. They don't care about the land. They have pride days in our land. They don't care, you guys. All they care about is using the lie that we are the chosen people to enforce it in the earth, to make money and to rule. They don't care about the laws. They don't care about the earth. They don't care about Yahweh. They don't care about Yahweh Shai.
Fast. Fat.
So I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and shalom to the hope of light, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of the Yahshua to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.
Yep, so Israelis are panicking, trying to get into bomb shelters, but let's not forget what happened